You know it's going to be a good trail when just getting to the trailhead is an adventure. There's a narrow piece right here. Gotta keep far to the left on this one, I think. Clean off that side of the car. Excellent, excellent. And then I'll clean the other side on the way back down. Of course, then I'll get muddy again going through the same puddles I came across coming up the hill. Oh well. Hi, welcome to another episode of Amputee Outdoors, and as promised, return to Bear Mountain. Earlier in the year I tried Bear Mountain and got up there. The snow was so heavy, 4 feet of it. I was post-holing into the snow. Trail was getting hard to follow. I made the decision to bag it and come home. It's now later in the season. It's summertime, and you can tell it's summertime because the rain falling on me is much warmer. Really beautiful summer's day here in the Pacific Northwest, also known as the wet coast. Yeah. So anyway, I'm all layered up. I've got 4 layers on. Layering is always important when hiking. I've got my 10 essentials, my sticks, which I'll be banging together once in a while to let the local carnivores know that dinner is on the way. I hope not. So I'm going to head up this trail, do the best that I can. And as I mentioned before in the video just before when I did Bear Mountain and talking about the trail, the dirt road going up here, if you've got a car that you're concerned about the paint job for, don't go with that car up this road. You will regret it, because this road, it's a little bit worse than it was earlier in the year. And there's several parts where, because the stream has come up close to the road, you've got to get over really close to the bushes. The bushes have grown more, and they're going to scrape along the side of your car pretty good. My old RAV4 that I'm driving around in, I'm not so worried about. But if you've got a vehicle that you're concerned about the paint job, you might want to find some other vehicle to use. All right, let's get up this trail. All right, I just crossed that log there, down and then across these rocks here. Now, for those that are experienced, that's very doable. Those that aren't very experienced, you might want to wait till later in the summer when there's not so much water rushing down the hill. This is something else that's got me a little worried as well. When I came here early in the year, there's about the same amount of water coming down, which meant a lot of snow melting. Now I'm worried that there's still a lot of snow up there melting. Well, one way to find out, of course, and that's to just head up the mountain. It is beautiful though, isn't it? This is another shot looking a little further up the rocks. Alright, let's talk about layers for a minute. I started off with 4 layers. Base layer, long sleeve, non-cotton shirt over that, long sleeve, zip-up sweatshirt, also non-cotton over that, and rain cover. It's warm today, but there's a lot of drizzle. So what I've done, I've stripped off 1 layer at a time. Now I'm just down to rain layer and my base layer because I'm warming up. Now I'm willing to bet when I get up to the top, I'm going to want to put all those layers back on because it's going to be cold up there and I won't be exerting myself as much. So I won't be building up as much heat from my own body. Okay? So you always want to layer. You want to have the base layer, another layer to keep you warm, long sleeve probably, a zip off or button off layer after that, and then a rain layer over that if it looks like it's going to be raining. And if you're in the Pacific Northwest, assume that it will. So always bring a decent rain jacket. Chances are you're going to need it. All right. Going to pack up my stuff now that I've taken off a layer, head up the trail. Now I don't know what looks more dangerous. That log I went across earlier, with this rickety old bridge here. Yeah, doesn't look that stable, does it? Anyway, it's not too far of a fall down to the water. I should be all right. All right, so ways up the trail now. And this is for my fellow amputees. If you're not an amputee, you can probably skip this part, just fast forward to something else that looks more interesting. If you're an amputee, listen up. So Started off today with no ply on my stump, just the suspension sleeve, and been doing really good because recently I've eaten a lot of foods with salt, so my stump had swollen up some. But now that I'm exerting myself, I'm sweating, I'm working, it shrunk down. It shrank down really fast in a matter of, like, I don't know, a couple 100 yards. That's what it felt like, seriously. So I've got my 5-ply. When you're out hiking, even if it's just a short hike, always bring a couple of extra socks with you. Chances are you're going to need them. Oh, that's better. Lifts me up just enough. Starting to smack and burn against the skin around my knee. That's always a bad sign, isn't it? All right, let's get the pack back on. Keep going up this mountain. So the trail is pretty well overgrown. This is the trail ahead of me. That is the trail behind me. Yeah. It's pretty thick. Working my way up the switchbacks. I don't know what number I'm on, and not counting because the number would probably just depress me. But behind me you can see the avalanche there from I don't know how long ago that gave this mountain its name, Bear Mountain. The avalanche pretty much took out all the trees down here. All the way down there. That must have been a sight to see, and I'm glad I wasn't there to see it. Well, let's get further up the trail, see what else we can find. All right, folks, here we are on top of Bear Mountain, and the view is less than spectacular. But I don't care. I made it up here. And I may be missing a part, but I'm not going to miss out. And I glory and take pride in every little accomplishment I can. And even though I can't see this view, I'm still impressed by the majesty of nature. You stand up here in a place like this, and especially when there isn't a view, and it gives you a very, very powerful sense of just how big nature is. It's a void out there. You don't know what's there, and you're just one little person climbing up and down a mountain. It's very humbling. It's also very beautiful in that way. So I've made it up here. I'm going to get down the mountain in a while, give you a field report on this hike. My recommendation for amputees, if you're in excellent shape, you've got a really good prosthetic and you're very confident, it's a challenge, but you could do it. If you're not at that stage, don't do it. It's not going to do you any good. You're going to hurt yourself, okay? All right, so I'll see you when I get down the mountain. Bye now. So this has nothing to do with the hike, but I came across this anthill on this rock as I'm hiking down, and I just had to film it because it was just so amazing. So as you can see, this ant colony farm, whatever it is, covers most of that rock. It's pretty big. Just want you to take a moment and appreciate sunlight glinting off wet rock and clouds moving through the trees. It's just beautiful. Hey, so 3 behemoths in this forest here I want you to have a look at. Starting right there, going up, splitting into 3 different trees. And then over here, going off my shoulder, one behind it. Big, beautiful trees. This glade here looks like the kind of place you'd find fairies and elves. In the background you can hear the river and some birds as well. Isn't it beautiful? Doesn't it make you just want to come out into nature and go for a walk? Yes, it does. Why don't you do that? Made it. Says 4.5 miles there up to the summit. Let's see what my phone says here. It says a total distance of 9.5 miles traveled. And let me see here. Stop. And does it give me distance? No. Does it give me elevation? Come on. Ah, heck with it. I did it. That's what matters. I got up there and I made it back down in one piece. There's a couple of parts coming downhill which are a little tricky, especially for an amputee, because you know, you don't have an ankle there, and so you slide a lot easier. And of course, getting across that log, not an easy thing to do. Right? When you're going out hiking, make sure you are prepared for where you're going. Don't just jump straight into a hike like this. Work your way up to it. Okay? I'm going to do this hike again. I got to do this in the sunshine so I can actually see the view up there. I looked up as I was coming back down, and although I was in sunshine, the top of the mountain was still cloaked in clouds. So the people I saw going up there probably didn't get to see anything anyway. It is a very, very low traffic kind of trail. A total of 13 people I counted today, including myself. So not a whole lot of people go up here. For the obvious reasons. I mean, it's a 20-mile dirt road to get here, and in the hike itself, it's not one of the best trails ever. And the undergrowth that's in there is just covering the trail. So Parks and Recreation, or whoever's in charge of this area, this trail, if you can get out maybe and do something with the trail, that would be good. But other than that, this was a really good hike. I met a couple of really nice people and their dog Gunther. Gunther, thank you for introducing me to your humans, Nicholas and Stephanie. I appreciated your company, and it was great getting up there and being able to enjoy that summit. All right, so this will conclude another episode of Amputee Outdoors. I'm your host, Glenn. If you've got questions, comments, or any suggestions, put them down there. And of course, got the big subscribe button. It's either over there or over there, one of those two places. Click on that so you can get more videos like that. And I hope to see you out on the trail, enjoying all this beauty of nature. All right, time to head home. See you guys.